Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Hello and welcome to Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold. We're listening to episode 22 of our show. This is our week 6 bet. As always, I am joined by my buddy from the Action Network, Dan Titus. Dan, how are we doing this Friday?
Busy Friday, man, but this is going to be great. Week 6, we're already a third of the way through the season, man. It's crazy how quickly this thing is going down. NBA is about to start, so I'm sure we'll be talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. But for now, all things football, and I got some good matchups coming up this week.
Yeah, so we will go through our top 5 against the spread bets, some other bets that we like. We'll talk about probably every game on the board by the time we're done with this thing. And if you guys are here for the Odell, Beckham, and DeAndre Hopkins giveaway, you're going to have to wait a bit. You're going to have to sit through all of our terrible bets. Hopefully we'll lose you some money this week. So if you check back at the end of the show, probably with about 5 minutes left in the show, we'll spin the wheel, give away some cool jerseys, and hopefully send these out to some people that are really going to love them. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Why don't we start off the top? Dan, number 1 bet on the board this week, week 6. What do you got?
Chargers plus 2.5 going up against the Baltimore Ravens. We talked about it in the early look ahead, and this line's already moved. I got it at +3, but current line's seen at +2.5. But I think this is going to be a great spot for the Chargers here, man. Like the Ravens continue to play these long, drawn-out games, and I think you got the Chargers, man. Like they've proven that they can go across country and pull out wins, and I think this team is rocking and rolling. We know how high we are on Justin Herbert and his MVP accolades that's coming up. So I don't know, man. I'm riding with him here. I think this is a great spot for the Chargers to keep it rolling. And they're giving the points, so I like it. So give me the dogs here in Chargers.
So I'm torn on this game. I see 2.5 on the board right now. Probably won't play that. I did see a 3.5 at one point on Wednesday, and I put a little bit of money on the plus 3.5.
All right,
I had to just for value wise. I didn't even care. In one of the contests that I play in, there's also a Chargers 3.5. I will be playing that one. I just think there's too much value there.
Yeah,
it's tough for me because what Baltimore wants to do well is what the Chargers are going to allow them to do, which is run the ball.
Run the ball.
What they're going to prevent them from doing is what Lamar has been successful on this year, which is deep downfield passing. Now they get Bateman back. I don't think that he'll be a big part of their game plan, but he is there. They found something, I'm assuming, in the second half there in their passing game. Maybe it was just out of desperation against the Colts on Monday night, but they found something there. I don't know whether or not they're going to be able to do that against the Chargers. If they're successful enough running and Lamar gets outside the pocket enough, I could see this being an issue for the Chargers and forcing the Chargers to play from behind. As a road game, early game, I don't necessarily know that they're going to be able to pull it out in the same way that they did against Washington in game 1 of the season. But I would still back Herbert and Staley. These guys are rolling right now. Short week for the Ravens. I can see this as a toss-up. I think that 3 is probably the right number. If it's 2.5, I may lean Ravens. 3.5, I'm definitely on the Chargers. So I don't hate it. I would just take, if you're going to do 2.5, just take Chargers straight up and see what the hell happens at this point, right?
Right. Yeah, that's what my thought is too. And I think that as much as I want to put some stock in the fact that the Ravens are just super resilient, they've also been extremely lucky. And I don't know, against a really good team like the Colts, they're not that great, right? So they played they played very well, and then they wind up losing the game in the second half, really just getting really complacent on defense. So I don't think that the Chargers are going to make the same mistakes. I think this is a real ass team that they're going to need to play good for all 4 quarters. And if they don't come out hot, they're going to struggle to get back in the game.
The Ravens have definitely been lucky this season. They've been on the right side of a lot of games. Almost every game that they've played in the season, they've been on the right side of. So they're bound to catch one. Whether or not it's this week, we will see. So Dan's on the board with Chargers plus 2.5 as his number 1 bet. My number 1 bet, I've been saying it all week. I'm not going to change because Nick Chubb's not playing. It's Cleveland. It got up to -3.5. It's currently at -3. I bet it early in the week at 2.5. I also rebet it at 3. I will play it in the Circa contest at 3 as my best bet. Also, I don't care. This Arizona team we're going to keep betting against Cliff. We'll see what happens. Cleveland's a real damn team. And now Arizona has to go on the road against a real team and see what they're made of. And I do not think that they're made of enough to get this done on the road and move to 6-0. I think that Cleveland will win. I think that they will pound the rock with Kareem Hunt. I think Hunt will have a massive game. And I have the Browns winning by at least double digits. I think this game will be
Wow.
Let's go 30-17. Also, I think that the Kyler arm issue that we saw in the second half against the 49ers is not being talked about enough. This is where his season went in the dumpster last year, is when he got injured a little bit. If he's not rolling at 100%, this team is just not the same. And I do not believe in this Arizona defense as well as they've been playing. I think that they're gonna get it this week against a real offensive line. So I would have massive concerns if I were Arizona fans or Arizona backers. So give me Cleveland -3 as my number one bet. Dan,
Yeah, that was going to be my second bet, because I totally agree with you, because, just because we're not going to see Nick Chubb out there doesn't mean that Ed Stefanski still can't do what he wants. And Kareem Hunt is a capable 3-down back. We've seen it in the past, and he's capable of shouldering that workload. And, Baker Mayfield, I was a little bit concerned about his throwing shoulder as well going into last week, but he was slinging it all over the field. So I think he's looks good to go. I am more concerned about Kyler Murray, though. As you alluded to, he's got a shoulder injury. He had a shoulder impingement last year that totally affected him towards the end of last season. So I'm expecting to see a lot of short dump off, screen passes, a lot of the ways to get Rondale Moore the ball, but not those downfield throws, because I don't know if they're going to be there with D-Hop. So I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for the Cleveland Browns to get back on track after a tough loss against the Chargers last week.
Yeah, one of the other reasons that I really like the Browns this week is because of Cleveland's linebacking core, how fast they are side to side.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you need against Kyler. You got to keep him inside the pocket, not getting around the edge, and that's what Cleveland can do really well. So one of the other reasons that I really like him this week. My number 2 play on the board, since you got Cleveland as your number 2, let's go with the squares sharp underdog of the week, which is Detroit plus 3.5. Against the Bengals at home. I think this is the week that the Lions get it done. Maybe it's just me being a sap for Dan Campbell, but I think that they're finally going to get one here. Bengals have to be exhausted after playing almost 5 quarters last week against the Green Bay Packers. They put everything they had into that game, and to not come away with a win, I think that they will be maybe not in the best frame of mind to go and win this game. I like the Lions, what they can do on the ground against Cincinnati. And I think that they will actually be able to cover plus 3.5 at home. So that's my number 2 pick on the board right now.
I like it.
All right. What is your number 3 on the board?
Number 3 is my fade of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm taking the New England Patriots plus 3.5. I think that, I don't know, man, everyone that goes into Gillette always seems to struggle a little bit. We saw Tom Brady, the GOAT, all of a sudden just forget how to play offense. And I think that's what Bill Belichick does, man. He takes away your best weapons. And what we've seen right now, their best weapon is Dak Prescott. Wouldn't be surprised if Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard still had a productive day. But what Bill Belichick does is he just sucks the life out of the game. And at 3.5 points, I think that this is a good position for the New England defense to actually wake up or at least put a little bit of contention into those Dallas Cowboys that have just been churning out yards after yards. And I think it's going to be a nice slow down spot for them in New England. So give me the points here with 3.5 for the Patriots.
I am with you here. It is not one of my top 5, but I will be using New England in almost every single teaser piece that I can think of. I already have them with Tampa Bay from last night. Great teaser spot. Love the under in this game, under 51, under 50.5, depending on where the game is right now. I think it'll be very slow. Yeah. And we're also going to talk about, we're getting to the point of the season. We're in week 6. It's time to start fading those against the spread records. Dallas has not lost against the spread this season. That stuff just generally doesn't work out. It is going to regress. So this is a good time to take New England against Dallas on the road, or Dallas is on the road. So time to fade them against the spread. I am with you. I did bet a little bit. It was plus 4.5 and plus 4 early in the week. I bet those. 3.5 scares me a little bit more, but I think you're still okay as long as you're above the 3. I actually see a plus 3, plus 105 on the board right now. So if it gets to 3, maybe stay away, but anything above that, I think that we're good here. Yep. My number 3 on the board. So in some of the contests, this is 4.5. It has now moved to 6, but I think that the Bears plus 6 at home. This is a great spot for them. Green Bay, we saw, I mean, they're a little fake here. Not to say that they can't go out and win a championship, whatever. They're still a really good team, but they're not as good as the market is giving them credit for. I think that the Bears defense can do work on them at Soldier Field, and I think that Justin Fields' ability to get outside the pocket, along with a game plan by Bill Lazor, will help them be successful. Over-under right now, 44 points. That is a very low total to be catching 6 at home. So give me the Bears plus 6. I think that's a really good bet.
This game scares the shit out of me. Only because we saw Damian Williams, he's got COVID, so it's going to be Khalil Herbert's show in the backfield. But then also Justin Fields got a hyperextended knee last in the victory against the Raiders. I mean, all signs point to him being completely healthy, but I don't know. I just haven't seen much out of their pass game. I mean, if there's going to be a get right moment for the Bears and Justin Fields going to be here, Jair Alexander is going to be out, so that's one less problem that at least Allen Robinson might be able to actually get open for a change, or maybe Darnell Mooney. So yeah, I'm just curious to see how the Bears offense comes to play. But 6 points in that game total that is pretty understated at 40 points. Like I could definitely see that being within a 6-point margin game.
All right, what is your number 4 on the board?
Number 4 on the board, going with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I see a lot of them at -6.5. So I'm going to take the Chiefs there. They're just, I don't know, man. The Chiefs just got to get going at some point. What better way to get going against a team that's been overrated all season, especially their defense in the Washington football team. So I think this is going to be a smash spot for Patrick Mahomes to get back on track here. They did lose Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I think Darrell Williams will be just fine as a replacement, at the goal line primarily. But I think we'll see Tyreek Hill blow the top off, much like the Chargers had a lot of success in week 1. So with a pass happy offense, I'm laying the points here with the Chiefs.
All right. So this reminds me a lot of the Philadelphia game where they came in 42-30, absolute smash spot. They're going against a defense that was just completely overwhelmed by their passing game.
Right.
Tyreek has to be healthy. I would not bet this until I know that he's a full go for Sunday. It looks like he is, although he was limited in practice today. If he's going, I lean towards the Chiefs. I know that we're supposed to bet against the Chiefs every week, right? Their defense stinks. Washington's offense will be able to score in this game. But that being said, I think the Chiefs are going to score 45 points in this game. How am I supposed to not lay 6.5?
Right.
I think they're going to score 45. So I'm with you on the Chiefs. I'll probably have them as a lot of teaser piece. Hopefully they're not the ones that screw me. That would be the one that concerned me, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm with you at the Chiefs -6.5. All right, my number 4 on the board. They no longer have a head coach. That makes them a great gross bet to make. That would be the Las Vegas Raiders +4 at Denver. I'm just going to continue fading Denver, man. They had 3 great games to start the season against the 3 worst teams in the NFL. We've seen who they are now. They are a terrible team. We've seen this Raiders team perform well against some very difficult opponents. I think the Raiders can go in 2 Mile High and get a win, but +4 divisional dog. It's way too high. I think this is going to be, the over-under is 43.5 right now. Okay, I don't really feel good about either side of that, but I think it's going to be low scoring. You're giving me a divisional opponent with +4 at over-under 43.5. I'm going to make that bet all day with a team that I actually think might be better than the Broncos. So give me the Raiders +4.
Yeah, it's a really interesting test case here, man, of is this going to be the Raiders responding to adversity? It's like, fuck John Gruden. We stand for so much better of an organization than this, or they're just going to completely shit the bed and they're going to blame, all the turmoil within the organization. So before points against a Denver Broncos team that's been super inconsistent, especially on the offensive end of the field, I certainly see the argument for it.
All right, what's your last best bet on the board?
Last best bet, going with Carolina, man. I think that this is an understated line here. I know that it's moving. It's +2.5 right now, just with news of Christian McCaffrey being ruled out. But everyone's hating on Sam Darnold right now and forgetting that this team has still a very formidable defense. And just because the offense wasn't clicking against the Eagles, they blew it. I think there's some questionable play calls. Sam Darnold was a little bit shook, but I think this is a way better matchup where a Minnesota Vikings defense that barely even held it together against the Detroit Lions. So I don't have much faith in the Vikings here. They are going to have Dalvin Cook back, which should certainly help. But I'm going to trust the Carolina defense to have a bounce back here and take them with the points.
All right. I like the Panther side of this too. We talked about this before we got on the podcast, actually, how much this line had moved. It opened at around Carolina -1.5. Now it's up to +2.5. It's a lot of movement, especially for no real injury news. McCaffrey, maybe they thought he was going to play this week and now he's not, but McCaffrey's not worth 4 points. In no way is a running back worth 4 points. So this seems like a lot of sharp money, which scares the absolute shit out of me. I think that this is a great teaser piece at this point. Plus 2.5, moving to plus 8.5. Actually, I was going to make this one of my best bets was Chargers plus 8.5 and Carolina plus 8.5.
Ooh,
I love that one
pieces
together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love those together. So that's kind of where my angle is right now. If he gets to 3, I'm definitely going to bet Carolina. But for right now, I'll use them as a teaser piece. The movement is the only thing scaring me off. I think that Carolina will win this game. I think they had the advantage defensively. I think they will slow down the Vikings. I think that their offense will be able to score against this Vikings defense, although the Vikings defense is playing better. And they're at home. Like I think that they can win this game. But the movement is, I just can't do it. I cannot go against the Sharps this hard. Maybe when we get to 3, I think that I've hit my number. And I assume the Sharps will too. If there's any 3, it's going to get bought back to 2.5 on the other side. So
right. Good point.
Hopefully I'm awake and around when I see that plus 3. I will not be buying it, but if it's there, I will be betting it for sure. All right, so I got to make my 5th pick here. I do not know where I want to go with this one at all.
We know we got to go gross. If it's not gross, we don't want it.
Well, fuck me then. Let's do it. Jacksonville plus 3.5 in London, 6 a.m. Let's make it super gross. Why not? You swayed me. I had to go with it. All right.
When in doubt, go with the Jags. I love it.
Oh, my God. I'm going to die on the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars hill this year. They're going to be 0-17 against the spread, and I'm going to bet it 14 times. So I can't wait for that to happen. So we got Miami minus 3.5. They got Tua back. But we've seen this team they're injured. They're trash. Xavier Howard's not making the trip over. Like Tua is not better than Jacoby Brissett at this point.
No. Loving my future of Tua right now. It's looking great.
Yikes. I mean, they're going to have to trade 4 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson at this point. That's not really enjoyable for them. Jacksonville. We've seen some progress offensively. They obviously don't have DJ Shark anymore, but they still have James Robinson. They still have some pieces. The defense may be getting a little bit better. I'm trying to have a bright outlook here. I'm betting on the Jags plus 3.5 at 6 in the goddamn morning in Los Angeles. Okay, I'm grasping at straws here, man. First 4 I feel good about. Yeah, just put a dunce hat on me with the Jaguars plus 3.5 and bury me 6 feet underground.
Nah, dude. I mean, we got the return of Tua. Like, we don't know what he's gonna look like at the gates. He still doesn't have Will Fuller. Myles Gaskin had the game of his life in terms of like receiving, but I don't know, man. I think
they lost by 40.
Exactly. So like, there's nothing about the Miami Dolphins that's like screaming like, oh my God, they're gonna blow them out or at least even cover the points. Like, I've never been a believer in Miami, and while Flores' defense has been solid, they're playing in a neutral field. They have the time considerations. We already know about the field and people playing faster, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Jags actually show up for once. I mean, hey, they didn't have any scandal this week. Maybe this is some good juju for them. I don't know.
Well, they have the board that says like we've gone 11 days without a scandal at this point. Great. Congratulations. It's all
trending up.
I guess in theory, Jacksonville does have fans in London because they've been there so often. I'm grasping. I love it. So give me Jacksonville plus 3.5, and I will be drinking espresso martinis at 6:15 in the morning, throwing them at my television as Trevor Lawrence fumbles the ball in the first snap in the end zone. But honestly, I think my biggest concern in this game is that the coaching advantage is huge for Miami. Flores is a much better coach than Urban is, and their staff is much better. So that's really my big concern here, that Jacksonville just gets outcoached and they turn the ball over a lot and they lose by 20. They like outgain Miami. I could totally see that scenario where it's like 27-7, but they have 100 more total yards.
Right.
They turn the ball over 3 times, and Urban's just being an asshole. So whatever. Give me Jacksonville plus 3.5. Screw it. All right, let's move on to some other bets that we like for the weekend. Maybe some over-unders, maybe some round robins. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so man, I'm trending the under here. Hold up. My computer stopped working.
All right. Well, I'll continue while you start to get yours ready. So I got Patriots, Cowboys, under 51 points. Love that one. Chargers, Baltimore, under 51. I think that will be a lower scoring game than people think. Houston, Indianapolis, over 43.5. I think there will be more scoring there. Houston games have been bet really, really low, and they've gone over quite a few times. I don't think that the Houston offense is as bad as people think it is. Obviously, we saw that last week versus the Patriots. They did some nice things. How about this one? First half round robin money line Let's go Chargers, Vegas, Detroit, Chicago, New England. All 5 of those first half money lines. Round robin it up. Let's do 3s and 4s. Let's bet about $250 into this, and the return is about $4,000. So let's have some fun with that one.
It's a nice little EV there.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be fun. So let's move over to whatever you got.
Yeah, so I got the over in the Bengals-Detroit game. That's sitting at 47. I got the over in the Kansas City Chiefs and Washington football team. I think that's just going to be a shootout of no defense. Start Taylor Heineke if you're in a bind for any streaming quarterbacks. I think he's going to have a hell of a day. Going to take the under in the Chargers-Ravens. I think we'll see maybe a little bit of regression there, some tired-ass defense. And then also I'm going to take the under in the Arizona Cardinals and Cleveland Browns as Kyler Murray struggles to find any yardage on those Cleveland Browns.
I actually like the under in that game too. I had not noticed it until now. Under 49 and a half.
49 and a half.
Let's let us bet that one too. All right. So we're going to talk about all the games that we didn't get to real quick, kind of give you our sides on those. But before we do that, let's spin the wheel. Let's give away these DeAndre Hopkins and Odell Beckham signed jerseys. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. We're back. Congratulations, Blake Baumgartner and Dan Santayo. Congratulations on winning those. We will contact you on Instagram or Twitter. So congrats to you guys. And
congrats.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy them, get them framed, and they sit in your living room for some time and you guys enjoy them. So let's move on to the games that we have not talked about yet, which would be, let's see down the board. We have not talked really about Houston, Indianapolis -10. What's your thought on that game?
That's a game I'm probably not going to be super interested in, but I feel like I got to go Houston +10 here because, I mean, why not? Davis Mills, we saw him have a better game last week, game of his life. I'm not going to say that he's going to repeat that, but the Colts defense can be thrown upon. And, I'm not expecting the Colts to be a very dominant team. This is a divisional game. The Houston Texans have woken up against other divisional opponents. So I don't know. I like them here. 10 points. That's a bit rich. And I don't even know that they're going to be able to score that many points to even make it to 10-point advantage. So give me the Texans here.
Yeah, I think that short week, an opponent that they're not going to care about at all. I like Houston +10 here. Also, maybe we should actually put some money down on this.
Yeah, about to say.
Yeah, if we both like the side on there, yeah, absolutely. And like I said earlier, I like the over here. I think there will be more points than we think. Give me, let's go Houston 27. No. Indianapolis 27-20. So that takes the over and Houston in that one. Game that we've not talked about. We have not talked about Seattle, Pittsburgh -5 on Sunday Night Football. Before we get to that, there is some champion round stuff there. We have a Hines Ward jersey, signed mini helmet hiding at Heinz Field. You have to go to our TikTok and go and find it. It is in the parking lot at Heinz Field, or it will be on Sunday. So awesome. everybody has to go find the hidden treasure, the Heinz Ward jersey at Heinz Field. So that'll be a good time. So Pittsburgh -5, over under 42.5. We go at Geno Smith and Ben Roethlisberger on Sunday Night Football. Something that nobody wants to see. So what do you got? What do you got in this one?
I think this is a trap game for Pittsburgh, man. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Geno Smith come out of nowhere and start balling out. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but at least keep it within 5.5 points. Like, I just don't like that line at 5.5. It's kind of in the middle of that dead zone of like, I don't know if I can trust Pittsburgh and Ben Roethlisberger to like outscore them by a touchdown, but I also don't know that, this is going to be within a field goal. So yeah, this is a stay away game for me, but gun to my head, I'll take the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, just because we don't know what Geno Smith is really going to look like. But from what we saw in Sunday Night Football, like it wasn't that bad, or Thursday Night Football, it wasn't that bad. Like he easily had a rapport with DK Metcalf, but I think it's going to be curious whether they're going to be able to get Tyler Lockett involved. Carson's out, So, it's going to be the Alex Collins show as well, which we've seen Pittsburgh's defense actually show up. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made Seattle struggle a little bit on offense as well.
All right, so this is one of our picks in Circa. This is not my pick, but it is a pick, and I will give this person's handicap on his behalf because I really don't know what to think about this game. So we have Pittsburgh -5. The reason being, one, Juju is not playing, which makes Claypool and Deontay Johnson better. They're going to force them the ball, and those two receivers are more dynamic than Juju. It'll force them to throw the ball further down the field, which makes their offense a little bit more dynamic and gets rid of this, 4 yards ADOT. So hopefully that'll be successful for them against a Seattle defense that is really struggling right now. And it's a full Geno Smith fade. We saw some good things last week, but the guy hasn't thrown a pass in 5 years in the NFL.
It's been a while.
There's a reason that he has been benched and mostly irrelevant throughout his entire career. And 5 points at home. Sunday Night Football, Tom was going to have the boys up, ready to go. So give me the Steelers -5 here on behalf of my Circa bets. I don't really know if I fully believe that handicap, but for the purposes of winning money, I am all in. I love it. So give me the Steelers -5.
I definitely certainly see the argument for it, man. Like, you can't trust Geno Smith. Like, we don't know what we're gonna get here, but I'm curious to see what the Pittsburgh Steelers offense looks like without Juju. I think we'll see James Washington involved a little bit more in those 3 wide receiver sets, but there's no reason why they shouldn't have some success on this defense. Seattle's defense has been inconsistent all year, so take Russell Wilson out of that equation, you got a completely different game plan and scheming that you're gonna have to worry about. So should be easier for the Steelers.
All right, let's move on to the last game of the week. Buffalo -6 on Monday Night Football versus the Tennessee Titans. It looks like the Titans are going to have Julio and AJ back, probably in a smaller capacity than they would usually play in, but they still do have Derrick Henry. The Bills are just mashing people right now. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
The smash continues. I mean, I haven't seen anything. I mean, the Titans lost to the Jets. The Titans have also, been very inconsistent. We haven't seen Ryan Tannehill play great football yet. He also hasn't had all of his team, healthy. But I think that the fact that we're getting Julio Jones and AJ Brown suiting up again, along with Derrick Henry, should help the case. But I just don't see the Titans really sticking with this squad. This is two levels of football here, where you have one that's going to be a fringe playoff team if they're lucky to come out of a shit division, that being the Titans, versus like the odds-on favorite right now to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC, which is the Buffalo Bills. I don't see this as a lay-down spot for them. I think they keep it moving, keep the foot on the gas, and blow them out.
Yeah, so I would have been hoping after the Kansas City game that Buffalo had a sleepy 10 a.m. game where they were favored by 17 points against the Jets at home, because that would be a smash spot for someone like the Jets.
Right.
The fact that they have an extra day off, that it's Monday Night Football against a team that they're angry, I'm sure about, that cost them a win last year. Don't forget about that.
Oh, yeah.
This was the Tuesday BS COVID game where Buffalo's literally preparing for another team while they're waiting on the tarmac to see if they could actually go to Tennessee and play, and they lost the game. Yeah. I don't think that they forgot about that. I think that they will be prepared and ready for this game. 6 is a lot as a road team, as a road favorite. So give me some hesitation here. But as a teaser piece, oh, yeah. Give me the Bills and a pick 'em. I absolutely think that they can win this game. I would not be surprised to see it go under. Maybe it'll be a hair sleepy, or Tennessee try to run Henry down their throat.
The ball. Yep.
Yeah. But give me Buffalo to win the game. Let's go 28-24 Buffalo. So I don't know if I like the -6 here, but as a teaser piece, hell yeah, put it into everything. Put it with the Chargers, with Carolina.
I like that a lot. Yeah, and I think you're right. The only way the Titans are going to be competitive in this game is if they just lean on Henry, control the clock, keep Allen off the field, let them just beat them down in the front, in the trenches.
All right, that does it for episode 22 of Gambling with Gold, our Week 6 best bets. We will be back next Tuesday with our Week 7 look-ahead preview. Until then, Dan, thank you for joining me as always, and let's win bets this weekend. Talk to you guys soon.